Good evening, children. I hope you are all staying home and do wash your hands to fight COVID 19. In today's class, we will discuss Unit 1 poem Life written by Henry Van Dyke. Children, please keep in mind this is a memory poem. Let's begin today's class with author introduction. The name of the poet is Henry Van Dyke. He is an American author. He is also a poet, educator, and clergyman. Clergyman means a Christian minister. He was also a professor at Princeton University. Do you know where Princeton University is located? It is in United States. He was also member of American Academy of Arts and Letters. Children, there are various forms of poetry like sonnet, ballad, lyric, epic. This particular poem belongs to the category of sonnet. Sonnet is nothing but a very short poem which consists only of 14 lines. The first 8 lines is called octave and the next 6 lines, which is the second stanza, is called sestet. This sonnet form is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means small lyric, a very short poem. This is all about the introduction to the poem. Thank you, girls. To me, here in the sense, let the poet, me here refers to the poet Henry Van Dyke. Let him live his life from year to year. From year to year here refers to throughout his lifetime, the entire lifetime of the poet. How he has to lead his life with a forward face. With a forward face in the sense he has to look forward to many things, many curious things in his life. And unreluctant soul. Children, I hope you all know the meaning of the word reluctant, which is unwilling. So unreluctant here means with a willing soul. He is ready for everything that he is going to face in his life. Moving on to the third and fourth lines. Not hurrying to, not turning from the goal, not mourning for the things that disappear in the tempest. So he is not going to hurry towards reaching his goal. So he has set his goal. He is not going to rush fast towards his goal, and he is not going to turn away from his goal. He is not going to move back from his goal, and he is not also going to mourn for the things that he has lost already in the past. So mourning in the sense becoming very sad or crying. He is not going to worry for the things that he has lost in his past. So he refers to his past as very dim because he had some sad experiences, nor holding back in fear. So he will not also hold back himself from attaining his whole goal in fear. Because from what the future ways, children, we all know what happened in our past. And we also know what is happening in our present. But we know not what is going to happen in our future. So future is veiled, future is covered here. We do not know what the future has in store for us. So he is not going to fear about the future, but with a whole and happy heart. So how he is going to proceed with the life? With a wholeheartedness and a happy heart that pays its toll. That pays its toll here refers to he is going to live his life to the fullest. To youth and age. Fullest in the sense he is going to experience his life all throughout his youth and all throughout his age-old times. And travels on with cheer. So he is going to continue his life with cheer. Now, let's move on to the second stanza, which has 6 lines. So let the way wind up the hill or down, over rough or smooth, the journey will be joy. So, he is going to take up his journey. The way to his goal will be either a hill or it may be some plains. Or the way may be very rough where he could face many sad and harsh experiences, or the journey towards his goal will be very smooth. He do not know whether it will be rough or smooth. His journey is going to be very joyful, but he is very sure that his journey is going to be very joyful. Still seeking what I sought when but a boy, new friendship, high adventure, and a crown. So we all grew up with goals from our childhood. We have some sort of goal in our mind. So the poet is going to pursue that goal which he has set when he was a young boy, when he was a very small boy. He is going to seek that. He is going to go back at the goal. What are the goals? New friendship. He likes to meet many new people and have friendship with them. And he also wishes to take up some adventure. Adventure in the sense, some thrilling activities and a crown. He also wishes to get some high position in his life. The last two lines of the poem: my heart will keep the courage of the quest and hope the road's last turn will be the best. So his heart will keep the courage until he reaches the goal. Courage in the sense, without any fear, he is going to proceed with the journey of his life. Quest here refers to the seeking of the goal which he has set in his life, and hope the road's last turn will be the best. So anyways, he is going to reach his goal. Before his goal, he will have one last turn, one last step which he has to take to reach his goal. So he wishes that that last step which he is going to take towards reaching his goal will be the best. Thank you, children. Good evening, students. In this video, we will see some of the figures of speech found in the poem Life by Henry Van Dyke. First, let's see the alliterated words found in the poem. In the first line, the alliterated words are let, live, life. Because all the three, it starts with the same consonant letter L. Similarly, in the second line, forward, face. Then in the last before line, you can see happy heart. Both starts with H. Then in the second stanza, first line, way, wind. Then in the second stanza, third line, you could see the words still, seeking, sought. So these are the alliterated words found in the poem. Now let's see the oxymoron found in the poem. Oxymoron is nothing but two words which contain opposite ideas are placed together. For example, youth and age. Youth means your younger age and age here refers to your older period. So two contrasting words are placed together. In the similar way, hill or down, and the other oxymoron found here is rough and smooth. Next figure of speech we are going to see is personification. You all know what's personification. That is giving any human characteristic to an inanimate thing. Okay. So here, future whale. Whale is actually owned by humans, but it is given to a future, an abstract thing. Here it means that future is covering his face with a veil. So that's a personification. Then here come to happy heart. So here only the word happy can be attributed only to humans, whereas it is attributed to a organ heart. So that also becomes personification. Now let's focus on the rhyme scheme of the poem. See, in the first stanza, the first word is ear. In the same way, the other rhyming words are disappear, fear, and cheer. So we can mark all these as A. And the remaining words soul, goal, whole, toll. These you can mark it as B. Then in the second stanza, down, crown can be the same rhyming words. Joy and boy can be same, and quest and best can be same. So in this way, you can mark the rhyming scheme. Thank you, girls.